zone out doing something and like you forget what you're doing? Right?
Yeah.
I
do that.
Thanks, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's a good audience.
All the time.
Oh, I really appreciate it. You think that happens to everyone? Like, you think the soldiers ever pulled the pin on the grenade and just been like, what was I doing? I'm getting shot at, I swear. And then I just thought about this. I don't know. Why does that happen? Does anyone know why you zone out or whatever? I have no idea. I don't really know why it happens, but I have a theory for like what happens when you do zone out. When you zone out and forget things, I like to imagine that someone with Alzheimer's remembers something. Yeah. But the person who has Alzheimer's remembers the thing that you forgot. Right? So it's just an old man surrounded by his family. And it's like, Grandpa, like, do you remember us? And he's like, I gotta take the trash out to call my mom. Stuff like that. What else we can talk about next? Oh yeah, speaking of old people, my sister turned 25 today. Yeah. She's not gonna hear this, but happy birthday to my sister. She has a shopping addiction, which is not good. Like, you might think you might have a shopping addiction. Like, when I say she has a shopping addiction, she once stole my mom's credit card and like bought $1,000 worth of stuff. So like a serious problem, right? We always tell her that too. We're like, Carl, like, that's her name. You gotta stop. It's a serious problem. But it's kind of hard to tell her. Like, honestly, I feel like it'd be easier if she was addicted to drugs. Not like at the same time. Like, that would be a bad combination. Where'd you get all this heroin from? I don't know, it was on sale. It just feels bad. No, I feel like it'd be easier if she was addicted to drugs, because when people are addicted to drugs, when you see them every time, they look worse, right? Like, drugs are not good for your health. You see them, you're like, oh, you look sick. Like, stop doing drugs. But because my sister's addicted to shopping, every time I see her, she looks better. She comes home and I'm like, you look fresh as fuck. God damn it. You look sick. So I'm very concerned for you, but the fit is hard. Like, that's dope. I know it's a serious issue. Like I said, she's older and she has a job, but I know she's addicted because she's asking me for money. Just like that, right? And she'll like Venmo request me. And she'll like try to make it a title where it's like not suspicious, like I don't understand what's going on. And the Venmo request will be like, for gas. But I have her location on my phone. So every time she sends it, I'm like, really, the Louis Vuitton has gas now? Interesting. Is it the new collection? Whenever she Venmo requests me too, sometimes it's like a really weird amount. Like one time, the caption was for gas, but the price was like $7.63. I was like, you want 2.52 gallons? What are you going around the block? Like, what the fuck is that? To be clear, I am talking about she's addicted to shopping for clothes. That'd be weird if she was addicted to like grocery shopping. You can't stop buying bananas, like 30 cents a pound. Like, what a steal. It's bad stuff. You guys know, like sometimes in movies and books of time travel, they go back in time to like stop a major event, like to stop the Kennedy assassination or kill Hitler, right? I want like a movie where they go back in time, but to like a completely irrelevant year. And they show him, they ask him, like, what year is it? And he's like, 1887. They're like, oh shit, we have to stop nothing. I'm gonna go on this railroad the Chinese already built. I'm gonna buy a house for $4. Yeah. Inflation. Lost my train of thought. Anyone ever been kicked out of anything, like a bar or a club or a party? Yeah. Hands in the air if you have. What have you been kicked out of, EJ?
Your mother.
It's not the time for that, man. I'm clearly on stage, okay? Okay.
Elementary class.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, another time. You should do that as a bit for yourself. I'll just save it. I got kicked out of my dojo when I was 10. That's a true fact. When I was 10 years old, I was permanently removed from the place where I did Taekwondo. And I got removed because I wouldn't stop front kicking my classmates in the chest. Turns out parents really don't like that. Right? I mean, I got kicked out for a fair reason, but also Taekwondo is all about self-defense. So the parents would be like, why are you kicking my child in the chest? And I was like, why is your child letting me kick them? Like, what are you paying for? No. I don't know. I felt slightly betrayed because everything I learned to abuse my classmates, I learned in that dojo, right? So like when I got kicked out, I kind of felt like a Nazi during the Nuremberg trials. I was like, hold on, you taught me this. Like, come on. Yeah, little Nazi joke. I was really sad when I picked that. I was embarrassed and depressed. I was mostly upset because at the time I thought Taekwondo was going to be like a great resource for self-defense. Like I was a small kid at the time, and I was like, maybe I'll get into fights or something. I don't know. And I was sad that I was going to be missing out on these lessons. And so, what's up, Daniel? Yeah. I thought I was, sad I was missing out on these lessons. But like looking back at it now, like I don't know. I feel like Taekwondo didn't really teach me a lot for like protecting myself. Like we had this one drill where they had us in a line and we ran at this like little pad and then we had a punch and then we ran to the back of the line. So what's the practical scenario for that? Because it never fought back or anything. What are we fighting, Mahatma Gandhi? Like why is no one fighting back? I don't know, I just didn't think it was practical. Also, I do know this for a fact, I don't feel like Taekwondo's ever been used in like self-defense or for a fight. And not that I've been in a fight or anything, but I've watched a lot of World Star. Right? In a World Star, I've never seen anyone World Star do one of these. Huh! Like never. Never seen anyone pull off. Not a karate chop. It's always the high swing. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, cool.
You guys ready for this next comic? Are you excited? Come on, keep on making some noise.
Thank you. By the way, keep the the applause going for Charlie Billings. This man spends his free time editing videos, making our YouTube look great. Cute as hell. I mean, wow. Anyway,
Thank you.
So my dad actually recently found this YouTube channel, and he's been heckling me over text. Except, like, he's not watching, like, live streams. He's watching, like, videos from, like, a week ago. And it's like, why? It's like, what's done is done, man. It's like hate tweeting Kanye while listening to Donda. It's like, what you say right now isn't gonna change, like, the next track. Just leave me alone. God. My dad actually, so our big thing was VeggieTales as a kid.
Yeah.
Anyone watch VeggieTales?
Yeah.
Yeah. What a fucking whack concept for a show. Like, was someone just, like, in, like, the produce section, he's like, God might be the answer. Like, no one said. like, why? But, like, I do like to think about, like, if the VeggieTales, like, when they got popular, like, did, like, the fame ever catch up to them? Like, did Bob the Tomato have, like, a crippling coke addiction? Like, he, like, comes onto set, bloody nose. It's marinara. like Larry, like, he definitely would have been caught up in the Me Too movement. Like, no, hear me out. He is a cucumber who doesn't wear pants. Like, if that's not an analogy for Harvey Weinstein, I don't know what is. Get out of here, man. Like, some of, like, the stuff was pretty dark, too. Like, it was like, I was watching an episode, and Larry was like, hey, Bob, what happens to those who die and didn't believe in God? Bob got real serious. They go to the oven. Whoa, I'm 7. Leave me alone. Like, after that, I had to, like, find like an atheist version of VeggieTales. Like, it just happened to be the Food Network. There's only one episode. And it was just like Bob and Larry get sautéed. Like, this is weird. Speaking of produce, in high school I worked like early shift at a supermarket, and I would be the dude who'd open the door at 5 a.m. and there's always be a line of people. Why? It's like there's not like new groceries dropping. It's like it's been the same shit for 40 years. Why are you here early? It's like I can count on 0 hands how many times I've had to wait in line for butter. This isn't like the Soviet Union in like 47. It's like we're gonna have bread at noon. It's like just come back. Like you can't even buy like everything you need like at like 5 o'clock in the morning. At least not like without looking like a psychopath. Like there are perfectly acceptable times to buy rope. That time is not 5:30 in the morning. If you buy rope at 5:30 in the morning, you're a criminal. Like you have someone in your trunk, like right now. It's like I am judge, jury, and cashier. Get the hell out of my store. I'm not gonna sell you that. God. So I will say I liked working at the grocery store. Other than like weird guys buying rat poison at 6 a.m. Like it was pretty nice. It was pretty good. Got a chance to like practice like my stand-up. One of my other favorite ways was just like walking around the city during the day, just like cracking jokes with people. I have a few observations from that time. First off, the homeless population, not big fans of knock-knocks. You like bust one and they're like, thanks for rubbing it in. It's like, I don't get this. And secondly, it's that people love their pets. Like a little too much. It's like they put them like a little bit above children sometimes. And like this made me think, why do we use the word groomer for people who take care of dogs and advantage of children? Like why? Like a lot of like the phrases are pretty similar too. It's like, she's looking great for 14. Or my personal favorite, what kind of shampoo do you use? Is it coconut? Yeah, just giving me weird hints here. Like there was probably some dude one time post an ad on Craigslist. He's like, looking to get into grooming. Any tips? I imagine he just had a full inbox of the scum of the earth. It's like, you gotta have rope. Like a leash? No. Okay. Like eventually he gets invited to a Groomers Anonymous meeting. Shows up. There's a bunch of vans. He's like, all right, yeah, these are the professionals. Sits down. Like that's when he realizes like what's going on. It's like, oh. I'm not in the right place. Like, I came here to talk about different scissoring techniques. Like, I don't belong here. I gotta go. There's probably some kid who's like, his dream is to like work at PetSmart. So he Googles just like famous groomers. It's like, Michael Jackson. It's like R. Kelly? It's like, what? Like, I didn't know these guys had like side gigs. It's like, why? I thought they were doing fine. Whatever. Like it must be every parent's just like worst nightmare to send their kid to the wrong groomer. It's like you start reading like the Google reviews a little too late. It's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Whoa. Like someone's reading the paper the next day. It's like, groomer arrested on multiple charges. What? Page 5. Okay, word. How badly can you mess up a chihuahua? Like, what? What's going on? Start reading. It's like, oh. Why didn't they start with that? God, stop beating around the bush. Like he touched a kid. Like, that should be the headline. Like at some point, like there had to have been like some overlap though. Like there's like a middle part to every Venn diagram. And like there's a chance there's just like a really creepy veterinarian, but I like to think there's like another one. I like to think it was a sex offender that for the right price could give your poodle a sick fade. Yeah, that's my time. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you.
Cam, why do you know so much about grooming?
Don't worry about it.
Oh man, it's great to be here. It's great to have all you guys here. I am exhausted because I did not get any sleep last night. My roommate does this awful thing where he'll invite these girls over real late at night and they'll make mac and cheese at like 4 a.m. We have a kitchen in our building, but I'll wake up and I just hear them. It's just, I mean, it's just that creamy, cheesy deliciousness. And there's never any leftovers. I wish they'd just let me sleep, man. He's hard to live with. He does not clean ever. And I was really getting on his ass one night about it. And he said, Jacob, if you care so much, just do it yourself. And that really threw me for a loop because that is exactly what my ex-girlfriend would always say whenever I'd ask her to put a finger in my butt. Yeah. Oh man. My brother told me this story. He's 11 years old, he's in the 5th grade, and apparently a girl in his class paid him $10 for a hug. Right? Thank you. Thank you. I like that only the girls laughed at that one. That was excellent. And apparently this experience got him thinking, right? He wants to start a business out of this, right? He's got a whole plan. He's gonna take reservations. He's gonna charge more for longer hugs. He's gonna have different rates if he just stands there and takes the hug versus if he actually has to participate in the hug, right? And I'm sitting here listening to this, and I want to push on him a little bit, right? So I say, well, what's gonna happen when you get too many reservations to handle all by yourself? And he thought about it for a second. I mean, it stumped him. But he got there, and this is maybe the proudest moment I've had as a brother. He said, "Oh, I know. I'll have my friends give the hugs, and I'll take a cut." this 5th grader wants to be a pimp, and he doesn't even know it. I shouldn't have played all that Snoop Dogg for him. I don't know. That one's on me, maybe. I don't know. Oh, jeez. I went on a date a few weeks ago. Thank you. And but like we didn't know what we wanted to do for the day, so I asked her if she had any suggestions. She was like, mini golf. And I went, money. So we went to Wiley Dining Court. Because I'm classy. I keep it classy. Yeah. And we were talking. There was good conversation, you know, but something was a little off. I don't know. Maybe she was an elementary ed major or something. But like religion came up. I told her I was a Presbyterian. Her eyes go real wide. She looks at my plate. She says, "Oh, wait a second. Are those fish sticks or chicken tenders?" He got that one. Some of you are still catching up, but that's okay. No, I told her I have diabetes, which is true, by the way, and she looks at me, she goes, "Oh, are you fat?" That is your judgment to make. Why do you need me to help you with that? I don't know. Those two things should have been enough for me to just call it a night, but no, she ended up back in my room. And we're talking about sex, right? As people do. And I guess you didn't understand the concept of a V card as like a metaphorical idea. Like she thought that a V card was like a physical thing that the government hands out at birth. Yeah, right? And so I guess she was confused as to why she didn't have one, because if you asked her about her V card, she'd tell you she lost it when she was too young to remember. Yeah. That was my latest in a long line of strikeouts. So I decided to make an investment in myself, right? And I bought a sex robot. And I really splurged on this thing. I mean, it's like full body size, like fake skin, voice lines, like toes, you know, the whole 9 yards. And C3PO, that's her name. And I was kind of amazed by how realistic this robot was, because I couldn't figure out how to turn it on either. So again, just like real sex, I invited my friend over, and he turned it on way better than I ever could. I don't even have to be in a relationship to get cucked. Oh, man. So since I'm not in a relationship, I have all this free time, right? I got really into Batman comics recently, and they're just super inspiring. I mean, I want to go out and make a difference in the world. But like, I'm not super rich or super smart or super strong or anything, but you know what I can do? I can kill the parents. Before you get all judgy on me for that one, let's just think about this for a second, right? How many people do you think Batman has saved in his career? Any numbers? Anybody? 1,000? 1,000? Let's be conservative and say 1,000. Okay, that means I can kill 499 sets of parents, and as long as one of those kids turns into Batman, I've done the world a favor. I told that joke one time. This lady got real mad at me. She was like, "You cannot joke about killing parents." And I said, "That was a joke about superheroes and math." Oh, man. Anybody hear about this event on Instagram? I know we had a Reddit person. Anybody on Instagram? No? All right. Not the previous ones? Okay, yeah. I spend way too much time on Instagram. It's kind of a problem. I know it's bad for me and it's rotting my brain and Mark Zuckerberg's selling all my data or whatever. But I just love that feeling of like being a spy, you know, because I never post anything, so I just watch people post things and they don't know anything about me, but I know everything about them. It's great. One thing I don't get though is when people will be like Instagram activists, they'll be posting about like free Palestine or save the trees or free Hong Kong. I don't get that Hong Kong one really, because I don't know how they keep a gorilla that big locked up. Plus, he climbed the Empire State Building and engaged the U.S. military. Maybe we shouldn't be freeing that. You guys have been great. Thank you.
Let's go, JT. I'm 6'1". I don't blend in that well. I get a lot of emails that are friendly reminders, like friendly reminder to do this thing by this date, and I just don't do it, right? Okay, if we're being friendly, I'm gonna treat you like my friend and let you down horribly. That's what I do. I get so many friendly reminders that I start to think if there's such thing as enemy reminders, you know? Like, pay your rent now or I'll blow up Gotham City. Just... Can you believe that that's how bad guys talked in like the 40s and 50s? It's like, you're too late, Batman. I've replaced the entire city's water supply with my farts. Just the dumbest shit, man. Like, not even, they're intimidated by like a whine, not even like a deep boom. Like if some dude back then was just like, no one cared who I was until I put on the mask. People would just be like, yo, are you free to babysit? What the fuck? Upstanding young man, I think I've seen you at my church. Meanwhile, someone just walks into a bank like, can I get a loan, please? They're just like, yo, call the cops so they can come and kill him. He's gonna use that money for villain stuff. We don't do villain stuff, we're a bank. Social commentary. I said it before you did. I said it
at the same time. We said it at the same time.
Yeah, Jinx, you owe me a kiss on the lips.
Talk to me after the show.
Yeah. And not during? We can do it in front of all these people. Yeah, we can do it now. Yeah, we're doing it now.
Yeah.
Alright. You have to do it to me first, I'm shy. So. I was watching a football game, and on the goalpost it had some like cancer awareness sponsor thing. It said, intercept cancer. Not even stop cancer, just intercept it, like they're asking you to catch it, like, I got it! Oh, fuck. Oh, it's going to my fucking arm, no! And now I have 6 hands. I guess I can jerk off while I'm cooking. I don't know. Intercept cancer also kind of implies that you can play with cancer. Like 2nd down and 10 for the Dallas Cowboys. Prescott drops back to pass and oh my god, someone replaced the ball with leukemia. All the players are going bald and saying painful goodbyes and making wishes to see their favorite rapper. What? How did Bill Belichick think of this? Okay, while we're on the subject, why is cancer like the #1 paramount issue for the NFL to solve above everything else? Like cancer is like the official disease of the NFL. Like it sponsors halftime or something. I just like to think that they decided this with like a Wheel of Fortune wheel, but instead of money, it's just like illnesses. Like Parkinson's is right here, autism's right here. Diabetes is right here, but it's a little bit bigger because some intern thought it would be funny to do that.
It's not fucking funny.
It's not funny. He's not fat, you guys. And so they spin it and they check to see what it is. Like Alzheimer's? No. Spin it again. No. They're not going to be aware of what we're doing for them. Spin it again, David. And they finally get cancer, right? High fives ensue in the background. And they turn to a guy with like ALS, like, look, I know you're gonna die in that wheelchair, but we're gonna wear pink. If you want, I could drench you with ice water. All right, that's my time. You guys are great. Thank you.
Yeah, so despite our amazing turnout on Sunday, I thought tonight I'd do something a little bit different because I wasn't expecting too many people here. I mean, you guys sure did prove me wrong. So tonight I thought I'd do something that I will find funny, but that you probably won't. And if like saying jokes that I find funny but no one else does seems a little foreign to you, just like imagine me as a freshman guy. If that makes sense. Yeah. It's just to you. But yeah. So for some context on this, a few months ago, I think it was sometime last semester, I was going through my Google Drive trying to find some sort of document. I kept coming across these really weird things, so I thought I'd share one of them with you today. A couple that didn't quite make it into the presentation, but were still my favorites, where I had a collage of goldfish for some reason. Yeah, I also, and the engineers will appreciate this, I had a suicide decision matrix. Not to decide if I should. Obviously, I did. But how? Some of the top contenders were going to the Wabash River to get radiation. Just take a Hawkins shower. One of my favorites was making a black hole from a whole bunch of bananas. That one I tried. Didn't work as well as you think it would. So tonight I am sharing this conspiracy theory I found that I wrote I think the summer after freshman year. I thought it was great. Again, none of it will make any sense to you guys. Just throwing that out there. But before I start, again, more context. Has anyone here had Craig Miller? Two people. You know where this is headed, right? Yeah. Okay. So if anyone doesn't know Craig Miller, he's kind of like this guy who's like amusingly racist. Was that a good description? Yeah. Like, he'll just like say hi in Chinese to any Asian person. When he talks about getting women and people of color into STEM fields, he kind of like acts like they're collector toys or something. Like, he's not a horrible guy, just like, not entirely self-aware. He also has a few signature moves, like he'll come to class on roller skates or drunk. One of my favorite stories, and apparently he's been spreading this around for years, so he's proud of it. Apparently there was one semester where someone kept bringing in like Egg McMuffin things, and so he like pulled the person aside after class and was like, hey, next time, how about you like bring a second one, and next class I'll pretend to steal it, and everyone will think it's hysterical. So he did that. So does anyone know what Teletubbies is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's also important.
Teletubbies.
In case there was anyone who didn't scream right there, Teletubbies, there's not a great description, but they live in this weird house, and there's like these people in suits that are like kind of weird deformed bears. There's a son with a baby face, literally, and they just have random videos of toddlers just like being toddlers, falling down and stuff. Not quite sure who's that's for. I guess it makes other toddlers feel better. I don't know. But yeah, so my conspiracy theory is about Craig Miller and how he started the Teletubbies. So, as one writes a conspiracy theory about. So I'm just gonna read it today, and again, it might confuse most people, but I don't care. So, once upon a time, Craig Miller, the legend, hazed 4 engineering students, of course 1 female, 1 black, and 2 more that could be of any race or gender because he already met his quotas. He hazed them into engineering and CADing. CADing, anyone who's not an engineer, I'm not sure why you wouldn't be, but it's computer-aided design, and when I took this, we learned CATIA, that's the software. Okay. Very, very important you know that. So he hazed them into engineering and CADing his dream home. Then, so he wouldn't get in trouble for misuse of resources, he used Purdue's brainwashing machine to wipe their memories. However, he misread the label on the machine and went a little too far. Not knowing what to do with the 4 students, he finally came clean and told the all-powerful Mitch Daniels, "My boy Mitch decided this was a great business model, but he thought they should start at a much younger age before they got to Purdue, so there would be more people flocking to pay out-of-state tuition. So the two went on kidnapping toddlers, taking before videos for documentation, not knowing their own fathers. The kids began to call Mitch Daddy, with threats of reporting Craig to the dean. Mitch Daddy Daniels forced Craig to use his dream home to stash the 4 originally brainwashed individuals, so Craig could upload the 4 students into the So Craig uploaded the 4 students into the CATIA file. With the other students, Mitch was so proud of his brainwashing job that he let them live in 2 of his best residence halls. That will come up later. Yet Daddy still had the jitters for cash. So he came up with a new idea to make even more money. A TV show. They already had videos of toddlers. What else could they need to make a great TV show? They made the 4 original students put on suits so no one would recognize them and notice they were all Purdue engineering students. They then spruced up the CAD file, putting in some flowers, and even taking out Craig's pet Demogorgon. And from there, both the Teletubbies and the Honors College were born. So to recap, because I just find comedy so much funnier when you explain it. It also took me like 4 times reading through this to understand what I wrote. So what happened there was Craig Miller made a simulation of a house. He made other students make a simulation of a house. He brainwashed them. Mitch Daniels thought it was a great idea. And then he started using that to basically make the Teletubbies. And of course, that house became the Honors College, as we all know and love. Yep. Yeah, so that's Craig Miller. Thanks, guys.
What's going on, everybody?
Nothing.
All right. That guy just came out of a Wes Anderson movie. Hey, we're in Cooper's house right now. It's crazy. I didn't realize Cooper had so many roommates. That was cool. I live in a house, a real house, have a mortgage, if you can believe it. It's a simple story. My grandmother lived there. She has Alzheimer's, so they moved her out. I moved in. She has no idea. Life is good. Yeah. Do a lot of house things. I mow the fucking yard. My neighbor never mows the yard, so my grass is always a lot shorter than his. And I realized if I mow a little further over, my yard looks bigger. So every time I mow, I go over a little farther. And then my yard is fucking huge. Takes up both of our houses. It's fucking great. The thing I don't like about my neighborhood is the streets are really dirty. You know, there's lots of trash on the sidewalks. Kind of sucks. So many cigarette butts on the sidewalk. Took my dog on a walk and now she smokes now. It's kind of annoying. I have to take her out twice as much. One to go to the bathroom, one to smoke, of course. I took my dog to smoke out last time and my neighbor, he was at the fence, he said, "Hey, I really appreciate you mowing my yard." I was like, "Oh, god damn it." Fucking idiot. He has no idea. But yeah. I don't watch porn anymore. That was a big thing for me. Don't do it anymore. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah. How did I do that? I Googled it. Went to the first website, and it said this. Step 1, realize you have a problem. Perfect. I've got lots of problems. Step 2, confide in somebody you trust, maybe like a priest or a teacher or a coach of some sort. I'm sure I can scrounge somebody up. Step 3, realize how your sins are affecting everybody around you and how your skin is going to boil and fall off in hell. Okay, so this is a religious website. Got it. Step 4, anytime you get an urge to masturbate, pray to God. I have never talked to God more in my life. Dear God, Charlie again. I saw a tall woman today. Dear God, it's me again. Just thought of my 3rd grade teacher. My friend told me he quit cold turkey. That gave me a good idea. Anytime I'm horny now, I look at pictures of turkeys. But it's had the reverse effect. So now every time I see a turkey, I get horny. Hey Cooper, tell your mom I said hi. I'm nervous for Thanksgiving this year. You know, my mom's gonna ask me to say grace. She brings out that turkey, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, don't watch porn anymore. You know what my new vice is? Playing the piano. That's my new vice. It is the exact same as watching porn. That doesn't make any sense. I will spell it for you. Don't worry, there's more. I'm not allowed to play the piano if my girlfriend is home. She says it's too loud. If I want to play the piano when my girlfriend's home, I have to go in the other room with headphones. I watch people play piano online, and I say to myself, that's going to be me someday. I don't know what to do with my left hand. I started playing the piano when I started playing the piano when I was in 2nd grade. I started playing the piano a lot in 3rd grade. Everything I know about playing the piano I learned from my father. Whenever I play the piano, I get cum everywhere. Okay. Semen was the punchline. Okay. Yeah, I don't drink a whole lot. Don't go to bars that often. I had a bad experience with a bouncer. Hey, why do they call bouncers anyway? Am I supposed to pay with a check? That's right. First part, semen. Now on part of my humor where I talk about checks bouncing. Okay. Anyway, where was I? Bouncers. Threw me off because he asked me for 2 IDs. I said, no, it's just me. Why do I need 2 IDs if I'm only one person? If you look at the first ID and you don't like what you see, you are only going to be disappointed by the second one. Who the hell do you think you are anyway? 17th century French philosopher René Descartes? Here's a form of ID for you. I think, therefore I am. He said, I think you're not coming into the bar, therefore go the fuck home. Had no idea he was so knowledgeable in philosophy. I had a friend, he bought a fake ID online, but it didn't come in until he was already 21. So I told him when the bouncer asked for 2 IDs, he should show him the real one and the fake one. I want to know how bouncers determine if an ID is fake or not. It's the height and the weight, right? It's the height and weight. It's the height and weight. Like I come in, he looks at my ID, he says, 165, huh? I'm gonna need you to come over here and step on this scale. Looking a little heavy. Why don't you take your shoes off? Then I'm screwed. Because I'm not 5'11" either. The thing that bothers me about my driver's license, think about your driver's license. I'm an organ donor, right? So that means this little document that I carry with me enables me to drive a car and also determines what happens to my organs when I die. That's just a weird thing to me to have on a driver's license, you know? Like, I feel like that'd be more appropriate for like something like on your will, you know, when you die, your will. Here's how my will reading is gonna go. 5 years from now. To my 4 sons, I leave the estate, and the mansion, and the yard. To my best friend Malcolm, I leave my car and the tires, and all the pornography in the trunk. To my beautiful unnamed wife, I leave all of my money, and also my debt. And to my least favorite child, Billy D. Williams Jr. When I die, you can do whatever you want with my organs. That little intestines is all yours. And also I leave to you 1 covered piano, covered in cum. Thank you guys, you've been awesome. Appreciate it.
I enjoy my roommate. He's a very smart guy. He's an actuary science major, which as far as I'm aware just means he's a mortician with more math. Actuaries put insurance prices on people. I don't actually get how it works. But I enjoy living with him, right? Because it's like free entertainment. because at least once a week, he'll just like get pissed off at math. Like I'll just, and to my left, we both study in our room. To my left, I hear, and then he just throws some shit at a wall. But he relaxes. He relaxes by playing chess. And he plays chess in the same way that I played Modern Warfare 3 when I was 14. Just talking the most amount of shit to nobody who cares to listen. Rook to d4, kiss my ass. En passant, I saw that shit coming from a mile away. You beta male. You know, that type of shit. And, you know, someone who plays chess for fun, they're pretty intelligent. So, you know, me and my roommate were getting ready to go to sleep in the bed that we may or may not share. And thank you. And he looks over to me and he says, EJ, astrology is the new racism. Let's unpack that, shall we? So, we have the horrors of racism, you know? Apartheid, slavery, genocide, and the horrors of astrology. Spending $30 on rocks. Knowing the minute you were born. Being rejected by a girl with a septum piercing on Tinder. But, okay, so let's go to a world where my roommate's worst fears are realized, all right? And I'm gonna need you to stay with me. I'm gonna get a little fucking weird. So, it's 2067. Haley with a G.H. Roberts has been elected President of the United States on a pro-astrology agenda. A workplace can deny you employment based on your star sign. Government buildings need to have 36 bathrooms, male, female, and non-gendered, because star signs can't piss together. A Pisces and a Scorpio? Absolutely not. New documents are drawn up, proving that Aries are the most violent star sign. Calling someone a two-faced is a Gemini slur. What? James Bond is a Sagittarius. He can't be played by a Taurus actor. Of course, I'm being a little facetious with the last one. But, like, imagine giving a shit about what they do with a fictional character like James Bond, right? Like, he's just some fucking guy. Who gives a shit if he's black or a woman or whatever? There are only two things that should never happen to James Bond, and that's he's played by Ryan Reynolds or Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is trying to do like this G.I. Joe thing. I don't know what his deal is. He's in a bunch of like army movies on streaming sites that aren't Netflix. It's like The Tomorrow War. It's about aliens. Chris Pratt has gun. And then he's doing the voiceover thing where he's being Mario, which we all just have to accept. And then Ryan Reynolds. I just don't want to see any more Ryan Reynolds. I'm kind of done with him. You know, it's like they're in the executive boardroom for new action comedy, and they're like, "Damn it, we need a white guy to fill up the main role. Jerry the intern, bring in the white guy wheel." Fucking Reynolds again. I swear to God, this thing is weighted. All right, give him a call. But to avoid seeing these actors, I watch garbage movies. Just the fucking worst. My favorite garbage movie is a little hit called Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter. Now I'm gonna tell you the plot of Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, and you all are just gonna need to believe that I'm not lying to you, all right? So we open on a punk rock preacher. He's reading a newspaper. Lesbian shortage. Niche festival threatened. Yeah, that's what I said. And then this other preacher, he approaches and he says, "Father Abel, we need to find out what these enemies of God are doing." And so they go to their secret weapon, Jesus Christ, who's baptizing people in Lake Michigan. So, of course, a fight ensues between our Lord and Savior and some gay vampires. This is in the first 10 minutes of the movie. I haven't even gotten to the real shit. So, fight scene happens. Jesus Christ gets a modern makeover. Beard shaved, short hair, ear piercing. A musical number happens. It's the best song in the movie. All of the music is original. None of it is good. Jesus meets up with a woman named Mary Magnum. They raid a hospital. And Jesus, he's trying to get his gear together for a great vampire battle. And who does he get jumped by? A bus full of Reddit atheists. And they just come out of this bitch like it's a clown car. As soon as you think they're done, here's 50 more. It's just like r/atheism. I cannot escape them. And so after this encounter, Jesus declares, oh, I need some backup. So who does he call? Does he call an apostle? Does he call the Virgin Mary? Wrong. He calls a luchador. A luchador who's really into grabbing ass. So Jesus and the luchador, they go to a scat bar, which if you don't know what scat is, it's not good. So there's another fight scene at the scat bar. Jesus is really bad at scat, evidently. Never took him to be good at scat either. And then Jesus is like, okay, I gotta stop this. So he goes to a junkyard to fight more vampires. Then he teleports to the hospital where Mr. Evil God Vampire is, and his excuse is, God is everywhere. He hadn't pulled this shit anywhere in the movie before. He just teleported. In this entire movie, Jesus is killing these people. But in this last scene, he's like, no, I'm gonna spare you in perfect Canadian. And this movie has made me just firmly agnostic. So agnostic. But for someone who isn't very religious, I catch myself saying Jesus Christ a lot, and it's not my fault, It's his fault. It's not my fault that he has a very good punchy name that I can say around old ladies, And I'm just saying this, and Jesus has lied a lot to us, I think. People say he's white, he's brown. People say he was a carpenter. I haven't seen him build a house. But the most egregious thing that Jesus has done was claim that he was born on December 25th, making him a Capricorn. This motherfucker was born in mid-June, making him an Aries. Thank you very much.
Thinking about EJ talking about Jesus Christ got me thinking when he comes back, he's gonna go to I have returned. It's what's it called? The Judgment Day? Rapture, yeah. That's in the BioShock games. He's gonna come back and he's like, all right. He's definitely a stoner, by the way. All right, here to do my Jesus thing. Let me find my people. Goes down the church. Goes down the street, then he finds a church. I can speak English. And he looks at the door, and there's a model of the thing that killed him on the door. And he's like, what the fuck? Anyway, there's a Jesus painting on the wall. Hi, Jesus.
My man, JC.
Anyway, y'all like my outfit? I rode here like this. I look like a Republican politician trying to look appealing to fucking rural people. I feel like I look like Ted Cruz. Can you imagine what it's like to peg Ted Cruz? He definitely gets pegged. Have you ever seen it Papa John's, how they have these big balls of dough that they turn into pizza? Now imagine smashing your dick into one of those and the sound it makes. That's probably... You get the idea. Hey, do I have to pay for those Jell-O shots?
Yes.
Give me one for free.
I'm just...
I don't know. Anyway, I've been reading National Geographic a lot recently. Not by choice. It's just I I ran out of other shit on Disney Plus. What fucking executive was behind that decision? Like, you know, it's the evil meeting of the Disney CEOs, and you know, they come up, they're like vampires because they're fucking evil. Well, my lord, today I've bought Fox Media Entertainment. I guess they're German. Yes, my lord, yes, and I've bought Pixar. And then they get to fucking Greg.
I bought Nat Geo. We're gonna have a lot of nature documentaries.
Everyone kind of looks at the guy who converted him to vampires. I'm like, God fucking damn it, dude. Do you think vampires like diabetic people? Do you think, like, you know, their blood tastes sweeter? Do they come in flavors? I don't know, that's a microaggression. Sorry, not really. Anyway, as I was reading this National Geographic magazine, I noticed a lot of things. When they take photos of people in third world countries, they like have a weird like fetish for picking out the people in third world countries who have blue eyes. It's like always people with blue eyes, right? And I have a theory for why that is. It's because when, you know, people like you and I, when we see a photo of some African lady with blue eyes, we're like, oh shit, blue eyes. White people have those. Oh my god, are these guys humans? Is that why I'm supposed to care about their kids starving? Fuck. Man, anyway, speaking of racism, I don't like cops. Thanks, Nico. You know, I've discovered a great way that if you're ever at a bar or something and some guy starts coming up and asking you questions about cocaine or heroin, there's a chance that guy might be an undercover cop. So there's a secret method I've discovered to figuring out if they're a cop. You guys know what phrenology is?
Yeah.
No.
It's this thing the Nazis did. Randall, pay attention. It's where they would feel up your skull and, like, depending on the bumps, they would be able to tell things about your personality. Like, oh, he's got a lump on the back of his head. That means he's a Jew. You can do that to... That's bullshit, right? It's pseudoscience. Except you can do that to cops. Cop phrenology. You take your thumb, hold it in perspective next to their head, and if their head is the same shape as your thumb, that's a cop. Look at his hand. If there's an imprint where a wedding ring was for like 20 years, he's a divorced cop. That's a dangerous cop. All cops are divorced cops and dangerous. Stay away from them, man. I got entrusted with my friend's fish over the break. It was weird. This guy did not take good care of his fish, right? It lived a miserable life. He would like masturbate every evening and the fish would have to watch just with its big bulbous fish eyes. And like the crazy thing is, if you're a fish and your owner's masturbating, you're not a predator. Your eyes are on either side of your head, so you can't look away. He never cleaned the fish's cage. It was just like chocolate milk water, just disgusting. And he was like, hey, I'm going to Slovakia for the fall break. Only for 2 days. I can afford that shit. Can you watch my fish? I was like, no. Well, no one else is going to do it, and you're my last option. And thanks for saying that to my face. Come pick it back up on Tuesday. So, you know, me and this fish, we're hanging out. I cleaned its tank. We watched some movies together. We watched The Big Lebowski. He doesn't really like comedies. He liked The Hangover, though. He liked that part where, like, Melissa McCarthy was like, I'm an angry fat lady. Have you ever noticed that's the only thing Melissa McCarthy does?
Yeah.
I like Melissa McCarthy. She's a great actress. Her agent should be executed. Get your talent a new role, you jackass. So me and the fish, we're hanging out, we're bonding. He tells me about, you know, his trauma, how wrinkly his owner's dick is, how he's into, like, feet. And, like, being into feet has got to be weird to a fish, right? There's no punchline there. I just think it's strange. So, you know, and here's the problem. Here's where I fucked up. I like to keep my window open. You know, I like the fresh air. And so I was keeping this fish on the windowsill. And, you know, a few nights ago we had a bit of a cold flash. And I was amazed to find, when I woke up one morning, my little fishy friend was frozen. You want to know a fun fact about my fishy friend? He was a beta fish. His owner named him Alpha. Shitty name. Anyway, the fish was frozen solid because it was cold. And so I'm like, oh fuck, my one and only friend, I let him freeze. I don't think that's a good friend thing to do. Does that mean I got 1 minute? Cool. So I looked up what to do with frozen fish. And the first Google result said microwave on high for 35 seconds. So I picked up Alpha in my little hand and put him on a plate. And the remarkable thing is he started flopping around. It brought him back to life. And I was like, Alpha, I missed you. You want to watch The Hangover Part 5? He said, yeah. He could talk. He was kind of cool. So I put him back in his bowl and we were watching Hangover 2. And then when it got to the part where Melissa McCarthy goes, I'm an angry fat lady, I looked over and he was dead. So, you know, I didn't kill him by microwaving him. I think it was the fish cancer that I gave him. This is dedicated to my friend Alpha. This is a PSA. If your friend lends you his fish, just flush it down the toilet. Thanks, guys.
You know him well. Give a warm round of applause for Randall Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to be Carl Langstrom. I got something to say about what Cooper said about Taekwondo. I happen to be a black belt in Taekwondo. And I did in fact use a Taekwondo trick to beat a guy. A guy comes up to me and says, "That's it. I'm tired of you. I'm gonna beat you up." And he reels back and go a punch really in slow motion. I went like this.
Okay.
I did that.
Thank you.
Yeah. I did that and I knocked him down. Then I walked to art class. That's a hook kick. But I did it at the ankle, so it wasn't a proper one. Okay, since I'm such a cool guy, I'm gonna give you guys a hot tip. Ready for my hot tip?
Yeah.
Okay, it's coming up. 12/12/21. Mark the date. Before that, you gotta short the dollar. You gotta short the dollar. This is gonna crash, and you can't buy the dip because that's the money you're using. So short the dollar as soon as you can. Trust me. Trust me on this one. 12/12/21. Mark the date. You don't believe me? You'll see. All right, guys, I got a question.
Okay.
Anyone got any ivermectin? Anyone got any ivermectin? I'm panhandling for ivermectin. Anyone got any? I need some ivermectin. I'm gonna need that real soon.
It's already in me.
It's already in you. We'll get it out of you.
I don't know how.
Ivermectin, you gotta have it. It'll beat COVID. It's true, get ivermectin, it'll beat COVID. Forget the vaccine, we gotta get ivermectin. Don't short ivermectin. It's gonna launch off real soon. You'll see. Forget ivermectin for a second. I bet Robitussin cures COVID. I bet Robitussin, right? That cures anything. Anything with a throat problem. Robitussin cures. Right? What were all the doctors thinking when they put all those COVID patients on a ventilator? Should have just given them Robitussin. So much for being our brightest minds, huh? Not so bright now, are you? Yeah, where was Robitussin during the swine flu? Where did it go? Where were you when we needed you the most, Robitussin? Oh, more Robitussin for us.